This me, Elsie. I'm back again with my podcast, another video. This one I think gonna be real juicy. I have somebody here tonight. They wanna try to challenge me and stuff, but nah. I got Tyson with me tonight. Tyson, go ahead and
It's all
introduce
love. It's
yourself.
all love.
All right, let's begin. Tonight we talking about relationships. We talking mostly about black relationships, whether you dating, boyfriend, girlfriend, or marriages is what we discussing tonight. I'm gonna let Tyson go first if
How
you
you
don't
gonna
mind.
defer to me?
I'm gonna put him on the spot, y'all.
Oh man. Well, I'll say one of the things is in this day and age, social media.
Social
I
media.
think social media has a lot of us delirious.
Yeah.
Um, that meaning we believe that because we have so many people in our inbox that we feel that the person that we're with is very replaceable.
I agree.
Um, not fully realizing that the people that's in our inbox is only out for most of them isn't out for our best interest.
I agree.
You know, as a woman, the men are out for that, and as a man, the women could be out for our money or whatever. Like, especially if we look like we got some,
Right. Right.
So it's just one of them things where you get blinded by your inbox. Yeah.
So you think it's social media? Okay, I'm agreeing with that. I think the big disconnect in the black community and black relationships and stuff right now is social media. I'm definitely agreeing with that because people, I believe that people don't realize that a lot of this stuff that we're seeing on social media, most of it is not real. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
Exactly.
And instead of some of us knowing how to decipher between reality and what's not real, it's like, well, this person looks like this person has this person has that, but we can present ourselves to be whatever we want on social media. So I definitely think that's a huge disconnect, and we feel like, okay, our relationships that we have at home is not worth fighting for because you got so and so and so and so in our inboxes, like, hey, what's up? So we think, okay, well, you acting like this with me at home, I got this many people or this bad bitch or this fine dude in my inbox, and we don't even think about, like, these people only see the surface.
Right.
They don't know you personally.
And they really in there to use you.
Yeah.
The man, you know what I'm saying? A woman be like, yeah, I got 400 people in my inbox. I don't need you. You know what I'm saying? And on the man side, that's just like a man saying, because that really has no value.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? A woman shouldn't look at that and be like, hey, like she's valuable because of how many people she got in her inbox.
Right.
Because that's similar to a dude saying, hey, I got all these chicks in my inbox, but, all of them asking for money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you can't really feel good as a man or up your value because the people in your inbox want something from you.
True.
So,
True.
you know.
Do you think, what do you think another disconnect could be besides social media? Do you think there's other things and wedges between us that's keeping us from not being able to connect and have something good and valuable?
Yeah, I think another thing is most of us as people, we don't know how to properly rate ourselves.
Properly what ourselves?
Rate ourselves.
Rate. Okay. Elaborate.
Okay. You ask, I ain't trying to make this a man versus woman thing.
Go ahead.
But if you ask the majority of the females what they are, rate themselves 1 through 10, 90% of them going to say 9 or 10. Most of them going to say 10s, but then you got some that's going to say 9 or 10.
Okay.
And everybody can't be above average. You know what I'm saying? Because if everybody's above average, nobody's average.
Okay. I agree with you on that because if we all above average, that means you feel like you don't have to have you don't need no work on yourself. Like I'm perfect, I'm good. I don't got to work on myself. I don't have no flaws. So I'm agree with you on that.
I
But I
got
think why some people probably rate themselves so high because it's like, well, I'm gonna have this confidence in myself. I think people deem the rating as I'm confident. So even if they
right,
know they may not be up here,
right.
they're gonna say that because they're gonna associate it with confidence.
But they're fooling themselves. You know what I'm saying? They're not really being real with themselves. Yes, you're supposed to have confidence, but you're supposed to have common sense along with that
Amen.
confidence.
Common sense ain't common
And the
for
problem is, right? The problem is when you feel like you're a 9 or a 10, you try to link up with other 9s and 10s
Yeah.
when actually you're not on their level.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
okay.
So everybody's out to get this top tier, but they're not qualified for the top tier. But in their mind, they are. And the people that's on their level, who they should be going after, they're overlooking them.
Amen. Okay. Now I'm gonna be with you when you're right because that's one of the things I talked to some of my friends about. I'm like, yeah, I got a lot of men trying to holler, but a lot of them look like booger wolves. If I'm being honest, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. And I feel like, not to say they beneath me, but I really do be feeling like, why are they really coming at me? Because if I'm being honest, a lot of them like, okay, my level. This is what I look for in a man. I like a man who take care of his hygiene very well. I like a man who go to the dentist. A lot of people don't go to the dentist. You smile and it's like missing teeth, rotten teeth, black gums, and I'm just like, ugh. And you know, get a little explicit a little bit. Somebody be telling my girl, let me eat you. I would never let you do that because I'm worried about what I'm gonna catch. So I'm being real. You know, I'm gonna be
Right,
real here. Y'all
right.
know I'm gonna be real here.
Right.
So I'm looking at this like, Lord, what's really going on? Like, and I'm not saying I'm too good, but I feel like the way I carry myself, I'm like, damn, do I look like a dirty bitch or something?
No. I mean,
You know what
like
I'm
I said,
saying?
what I said is everybody goes up above
Right.
what they're supposed to be.
Right.
You know.
And I'm just like, ugh.
Right. I'm
So,
not. Right. What I'm
just
saying is,
saying.
I'm not telling you to settle
Never.
for that, but
Never.
also accurately rate yourself. You know, me. A lot of people don't know me, but me, I see myself as a 5. I'm a solid 5. On
You
a
see
good
yourself as a 5.
on
So
a
like,
good day, I might
would
be
you
a
say
6.
that's like average?
That's very average.
Why do
That's
you rate yourself a 5?
because I am aware of my strengths and my weaknesses.
Okay.
A lot of people they put too much emphasis on their strengths and not on their weaknesses. You know what I'm saying? Your weaknesses count.
They do.
You know,
They do.
and like I said, a lot of people they just like, okay, I got all these strengths right here, but the weaknesses don't mean nothing. Yeah, so that's why they over evaluate themselves and get themselves 10s. No,
I'm gonna rate
everything
myself
counts.
a 7. I'm gonna say a 7. I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna rate myself a little bit above average because I feel like I feel like I have put in the work. I don't have a problem with identifying what my issues are. I don't have a problem with identifying where I need work at. So when I know I needed work, I put in the work as in, okay, when I was at a low point, I needed to talk to somebody. I needed to get help. I needed to get professional help, you know, therapy, counseling, whatever. So I feel like I put in the work. I'm able to put that mirror in front of my face and say, okay, Elsie, what is it that you're doing wrong? What is it that you can work on? And I did that. So I'm rating myself a 7.
The question is would you date a 7?
Would I date a 7?
Would you date a
Yeah,
6?
what-
Would you date a 7?
I've dated 3s. So yeah, I date a 6, I date a 7. Because my problem is I'm like Bob the Builder around this bitch. I'm always trying to build a nigga. Sorry, but that's what it is. I feel like I get these projects and I'm always seeing the potential and I'm always leading with love and because I'm hopeless romantic and I think that's what's messed me up because you got to have more than love that you can bring to the table. And I think I'm getting these people who may not be on the same level as me and I'm trying to pull them up and then I find myself getting pulled down. And then once I get them to a certain point, it's like I don't need you no more. you of no value to me no more, Elsie, because you got me here.
Okay.
And so, boom.
It sounds like you're saying that that was a problem by you going under.
For me, I feel like it was a problem.
So, but you right either right now you're still date. You're a 7, so you're a date a 7.
I date a 7, I won't go underneath that.
Okay.
Not
See?
no more.
And that's basically how you're supposed to do. Stay equally yoked. You know.
Yep.
But
Amen
just
to that.
just make sure we're accurate on
The
a
rate.
real evaluation of ourselves.
I like that. I like that. All
Yeah.
right. I can start that one. I want to give my opinion on that, I should say. Why do I think some men don't want to settle? Okay, so I'm gonna speak from the women, from the woman's perspective, because I'm a woman, so I can only go from what my perspective is as a woman, because I'm not a man. So I believe, and it's just based off what I've seen, what I've heard, talking to men, experiences and all. Some men don't want to settle down. Like, okay, I have had some men say, well, I'm not ready to settle down. I'm not in a place to settle down. I got to get myself together. I don't want a woman to have to take care of me. I need to get myself together financially.
That's great.
Respect.
Yeah, respect.
I have seen situations where some men say, I just don't want a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then I see some men
They
say,
never said why.
let me see. I have heard I ain't seen no good women. I ain't found no good woman yet. I ain't found my match yet.
So
I had a
basically-
bad experience.
So they want to settle down, but they haven't found the right one.
From what they say.
So they want to settle down, but they just haven't found the right one.
From what they say.
Okay, so that's kind of not, you know.
I don't know. This is what they saying. So
Okay. I feel that, and
Right.
I can comment on that, but go ahead, keep going.
Okay.
Keep going.
So a lot of the reasons I think some men don't want to settle down, I think because it's like what we was discussing in question 1. A lot of people see all these options. I got all these options. I hear so many fine women. Everybody go, look at this ass and look how she moved this and look at this. It's all this physical stuff. I never hear a lot of men say, I like her, I'm attracted to her because of how she speaks, how she carries herself, what she has to offer. It's always the physical appearance. So I feel like a lot of men don't want to settle down because they don't want to be tied down to that one woman, because if they don't tie themselves to that one woman, then they can keep jumping from woman to woman to woman. So that's what I feel like why a lot of men don't want to settle down. I could be wrong, but that's how I feel based off what I'm observing, based off what I'm hearing.
I mean, you got a lot of valid points there.
Okay, oh
You know.
shit. Tyson agreeing with me a little bit, y'all.
Yeah. I'm on, you know, I ain't here to, you know, just argue with you. Nah,
Okay,
when you're right,
okay,
you're right.
okay.
Okay. And I'm gonna say why, but if it applies to women, apply it there.
Okay.
Okay, a lot of times, based on what you just said, yes, we are kind of afraid of getting in a relationship and or getting married and then finding out that wasn't the right one. You know what I'm saying? And then
Can I ask you, finding out they're not the right one, what deems them not the right one after dating, engagement, all the way into marriage?
change.
How it take,
people change.
we gonna change for the rest of our lives. So,
Yeah, but people change it not for the better.
okay, so say that. Say, okay, so
Yeah.
so
yeah.
changing for not for the better. So
Right.
what does not for the better looks like then?
That's very obvious.
No, I want, tell me, because it may not be obvious to some. Break it down.
Okay.
Because what you might deem not changing for the better, they may not see that they're not changing for the better. Wouldn't that be a discussion to be had, especially if you're married?
Yes. You
Okay.
definitely. That discussion should be consistent. You know, constant and consistent.
Right.
You know. So, but changing for the worse is usually as expectations rise, those expectations from either the man or the woman isn't being communicated,
Okay.
but is rising within the person. Like, okay, this is my girlfriend, or we've been together for this long, she should be doing this, or we engaged now, she should be doing this, or we're married now, he should be doing this. All that happens and we don't communicate it.
And you see, that's the problem.
Yeah,
A
yeah,
lot
yeah,
of
yeah.
times it's the lack of communication.
Right.
People be in these relationships and thinking somebody's supposed to be a mind reader. Or a lot of times I feel like people holding stuff as a let me save this for when I do some stupid shit. You
Right.
get what I'm saying?
Right.
Instead of saying, okay, if me and you in a relationship and I come at you like, or I'm feeling some type of way, but I'm never telling you how I feel.
Right.
And then I go do something stupid instead of telling them like, well, you've been doing this, and that, and I ain't like it. But I
Right.
never told you. And a lot of times that's what I'm noticing in a lot of these relationships. Ain't nobody communicating nothing.
Right.
That's the problem because as we all know, relationships are work, marriages work. So it's never gonna be good all the time.
If I can, just go back to the changing part.
Go back to
yeah,
the changing part.
yeah, because you wanted me to answer that.
Yeah, go
so,
ahead.
So the changing part is, do I have your? I mean, as far as me having your best interest at heart. When you're dating, we always I'm trying to please you, you trying to please me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then as those expectations grow and you're not seeing, the person is not doing the expectations because you're not conveying to them what the expectations are, you feel like they're failing. And then as they're failing, then you lower the other person's best interest. You know what I'm saying? You lower the value of the other person because you feel like they're not doing enough for your expectations.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? As it grows, you know, you got to communicate that part. And a lot of times, if it's not talked about in the early going, you expect it after marriage or whatever, and it's not there, and it don't happen.
Right.
And the other person don't know. But those are the changes. The bitterness, the anger, the hatred start creeping in there, and that's the changes. You know what I'm saying? They used to do this for me. They used to, you know, say sweet things to me. They used to smile at me. But they don't do that no more. That's the changes I'm talking about.
Right. So you talking about the lack of consistency of the things that they were doing when they first got with you.
Right, because
Is
the
what-
feelings changed. And that's what I
Right.
mean. By people change, feelings change. Right.
Okay. So, but long as that communication's there, right? Before it's like, okay, I'm done with this.
Right.
Okay. Okay.
You know, and that's another thing. As we progress in relationships, you gotta make sure that your expectations and appreciations both meet.
Okay. Go more into detail on that. I think people would like to hear more on that.
Okay. If your appreciation is more than your expectation, most cases you will be happy.
Right. Okay.
Right. If the person does something like, okay, this is my wife, you know what I'm saying? I'm so thankful she made my lunch for me to go to work today. She didn't have to do that. Ain't no law saying that she has to do that.
Right.
You know, but she did it for me. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate that.
Do you see people appreciating those types of things, or they just kind of be like,
No, because
they did it.
expectations kill it. Because you're my husband, you're supposed to do that. You're my wife, you're supposed to do that. I ain't got to tell you thank you.
and that's where relationships fail
Yes.
because you're not showing that you appreciate this person or saying that you're like, I don't care what it is. And I mean, I feel like I've heard it from school to work. Nobody wants to be in a classroom and you could be making all good grades and then you make that one bad grade and now the teacher just scolding you for that one bad grade, but never said nothing about all the good you did.
Right.
Same on the job. You're not going to feel appreciated on that job if you do all this good stuff and then you make one mistake on the job or mess up or whatever. So now they boom, boom, boom. You're going to feel like, why am I doing all this for? So I that right there is where I feel like where the issues lie. Because I have felt in relationships like, I did this, I did that. Really? You don't even care. This don't even make you feel no kind of way. You would think something will pop up sometimes in people's heads like, dang, like she did this for me or he did that for me. Like, let me have a certain level of respect for them.
Right.
But you don't see that these days. You
Right.
don't see that a lot of times.
Right.
And I feel like that's a part of a huge problem in relationships right now. Because people just feel like somebody's supposed to do this. No, we're all people. We ain't got to do nothing.
Even in a personal way, if you have more gratitude to what a person does for you, you've just noticed like, hey, he just took out the trash. I ain't even had to ask him to. You know what I'm saying? Or even if you do have to ask him to, he took it out. You know what I'm saying? Well, he didn't have to.
Right.
Just take those little wins and appreciate it.
Let me find one of them. Elsie gonna appreciate it. Just saying. But go ahead, Tyson.
Yeah. It just
Elsie gonna appreciate it.
if we keep our expectations low and our appreciations high, you're in a good place.
I'm with you on that. I'm with
Especially when two people both know how to do that. That's a strong relationship.
you. That is.
Yeah.
And that's rare.
Very rare, extremely rare.
Rare.
But-
Very rare. Rare.
And that's really because we're not aware of it. It's rare because a lot of people aren't aware of it. We just we fighting and bickering and really don't know why. But that's why.
Yeah. But we're gonna try to bring light to that tonight.
Okay. First, before I even try to even mess with this, let's define cheating. What's cheating? Is it the physical cheating, or is it going out on dates and giving out your numbers, and is that cheating?
Cheating is cheating, whether it's emotionally, whether it's physically, whether it's, oh, let me give out my number, let me flirt. That is considered cheating.
Okay, showing anybody else attention other than your mate.
Other than your mate. That is cheating.
Okay.
If it's something that you know is going to offend your mate, or if it's something that you know you won't do or you can't do in front of them, to me, that is deemed cheating.
Okay. So in that case, nah, they both are crazy. They both do it. And I'm gonna make the distinction.
Go ahead.
What I think, I mean, y'all can Google this. I don't know. I'm just talking out of my head. I think men probably do the most physical cheating,
Okay.
but the women do the most showing attention cheating. Giving out numbers and going on dates and things like that. When
Really?
She got some, yeah.
When she got somebody?
Yeah. Girls trip and what goes down on that and all that.
It's guys trips too.
Yeah. But like I say, the physical part, that party more so goes to the men.
Okay.
But the extra attention, which is just as bad because
Her giving somebody else attention, or them looking at her like she's getting the attention?
no, her extending that attention to them. Her giving them her attention.
Oh, okay. Like her flirting with another man.
Flirting with another man, making time for another man, going out with another man. Yes, all that.
So you feel like a lot of women are going out and doing all this while in relationships?
Yes. And I'm gonna be absolutely honest with you. This is 2025 today.
2025.
I could be totally wrong about the men being more physical. The women could be more physical.
A lot of women have
but-
adapted, yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
But I'm just gonna extend the olive branch and say maybe the men are more physical.
Okay. All right. So my response to that, do I think women, because that was the question, right, cheat as much as men? If we're covering all levels, because I'm going to break it down. If we're covering all levels, if we're talking about the flirting and whatever else, I would say it's a close race. But I'm going to still say the men doing it more. I'm going to say the men are doing it. And I'm going to say this because
What's the ratio?
if it's a close race, I'll say if it's
Wait, the
Hey.
director has a question. Is it a generational thing? Is there a generational difference? I feel like with closer to my generation, it's more women than it is men.
Thank you for your input, director. Thank you.
Okay, so to respond to the director, um, the generational thing and more women is, I would say, I agree. And I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
I think women are tired. I feel like we're tired. I feel like the younger generation are seeing their moms struggling with whatever else, and they see the women out right now. What's in the media? You see Cardi B. You see what's her name? Cash Doll. Love me some Cash Doll.
Mm-hmm.
You see who else moving on
Sexy
and
Red.
upgraded? No, who moved on and upgraded from the situation they was in?
Oh, you talking about that?
Yeah, I'm talking about that type of stuff. Those are a couple of examples. I think a lot of the new generation of women are seeing this and they just like, look, I don't got to sit here. I don't have to settle for this. I don't have to go through this. So peace out. And so I do think like if they're not being appreciated or they're not being respected and loved and whatever else, they like fuck that shit. They're not sitting around like back in the day, like Big Ma and some of us and dragging that along.
What about the men who ain't feeling respected and they ain't feeling loved at home and they are they okay by doing that? Because wrong is wrong.
Wrong is wrong.
Okay.
But I think a lot of times I seen a phrase one time and I completely agree. It said a man can have a million reasons to stay and find one to leave. Mm-hmm. And a woman can have a million reasons to freaking leave and find one to stay. So I feel like, and this is my opinion and this is my feelings, I feel like men find the smallest, some of them, stupidest things sometimes to say, you know what, I'm leaving. Or I cheated because you remember the other night when I wanted to go out with my homeboys, you wouldn't let me go out. But she don't care if I go out. She'll hang out with me. She like one of the boys. It be the stupidest things.
What's one of the stupid reasons that he leaves? Because you say he usually find one stupid reason to leave. What you
Something
might,
like that.
What you might think is stupid.
If you never communicated it, it's stupid. Because nobody is psychic in no relationship. You have to communicate that. That's what relationships are about. Nobody is a mind reader. And yes, that is stupid because it shouldn't be boom. She did this one thing. You know what? That's my cue to go. That's my cue to go cheat. That's my cue to go talk to this girl who been trying to holler at me. I've been waiting on some ammunition to talk to old girl because she look good. A lot of times that be what a lot of the main reasons are. It ain't necessarily that woman completely did something wrong at home. It was like you were looking for something. I can find anything if I really want to cause a problem or go talk to somebody.
All right. That part can be broken down also.
Break it down.
Okay. I believe you're speaking on some of these relationships. Some of the relationships you shouldn't even be calling relationships. You know what I'm saying?
Like what?
Sometimes, okay.
Break it down.
All right. Okay. I'm alone. She's alone. She look good. I look good. You know what?
That ain't no relationship.
No, listen to me. Hey, let's link up. She look at you, you know, I look good. So she links up too. Okay, we're comfortable with each other. You know what I'm saying? The sex is good.
You know what they call that, Tyson?
Situationships.
Situationship, fuck buddies, homie, lover, friends, all that. That ain't no relationship.
But that's what I'm saying. A lot of times we get into these extended situationships, and in our mind is a relationship.
Okay,
they are not.
A relationship, we got titles and we know we got titles. No, we living together, whatever. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, Elsie, that's also what I'm talking about. You know, sometimes a situationship will cause people to move in together. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And in your mind, at least in one of their minds, it's a relationship. Mm-hmm. But the other one is still in a situationship. Mm-hmm. That's why that one thing can happen and they're gone. Now, women leave too now.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm just saying, over stupid stuff. Women leave too over stupid stuff. Mm. But you trying to call it a relationship, but it's actually a situationship.
Okay. If you going as far as living with somebody, and you know in your mind that this ain't what it is for that other person, that's your fault. So even if you
Yeah,
step out
yeah.
and you go and go talk to somebody else, man or woman,
Right.
like you're wrong because you know that person deemed you as their mate, as you say, or we're in a relationship, you my person or whatever else. If I done gave you signals, like you my man, Tyson, you mine.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
All right. I'm
If
just
you should
making
check
sure-
me right there, like hold
I'm
on.
just making sure you're not thinking I'm condoning that. I'm just explaining.
I'm
That's how
not
it
saying that
happens.
you are, but
Okay.
how I'm saying
Okay.
it is when you
Yeah.
have these people that's in these situationships
Right.
or whatever else, and you got one thinking one thing
Right.
and the other thinking the other. At some point, that person that don't see it as us being in a relationship needs to open their mouth.
Right.
But see, a lot of times you got people in these situationships and the other person thinking they're in a relationship using somebody. They
Right.
there for whatever
That happens
personal
all the
reason.
time.
All the time.
Right.
So then what can we do to make it better?
Pick better. Choose better.
Don't do that.
No, men too. No, men too.
Man, woman, don't do that.
The
No.
thing, that's why it's so difficult because it's so hard to choose the right person, and we
But
always.
that is a very bland, cliche statement.
All right.
Choose better. That's like.
Okay, what you think I'm
Remember
saying
the
by
game?
that? What you think I'm saying by
Hold
that?
on. Remember the game where you put the cups down? You got 3 cups. I'm gonna put a quarter up under this cup and I'm gonna slide around. Boom. Which cup you think the quarter under? You get what I'm saying? Hold on.
Yeah.
You don't know because all these cups are appearing to be the same.
You're making my point.
They look the same.
You're making my
Hold
point.
on. I might, maybe not. I might be making my own.
Yeah.
If I choose the cup without the quarter, how is that my fault if it's looking
No.
like the rest
I didn't say.
of the man or of the women?
All right. I didn't say it's your fault. I said.
But your
I
statement
just-
was choose better.
No, but right. But that's where the struggle is, cause we don't know how to choose. We don't know how to choose, and B, when we are choosing, we can easily be manipulated.
Exactly.
But men and women.
Right. But
But
whose
that's-
fault is that? The
No.
person that did the picking or the person that pretended to be somebody they weren't?
I mean, you just got to live and learn. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying is what I'm saying. There's no fix to this. You know what I'm saying? The only fix you can do is become wiser and be more particular about who you pick.
So you don't
can't-
think there's no fix to this?
it's the only fix is becoming wiser.
Or
knowing what to look for.
or becoming wiser and people stop manipulating people. People taking accountability.
That's just like saying people stop lying. If people stop lying, then people gonna lie from here until the end of the world. People gonna cheat from here to the end of the world.
I agree.
People gonna
But do you
rob
think-
from here to the end of the world.
But-
People gonna be people.
But people do change. People do advance. Things do change, right or wrong.
Right. I'm just saying that the only way it can change, you got to stay away from the evil people and choose the right kind of people. Now, the right kind of people, they're like the evil people, and the evil people, they're like the right kind of people.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. It's not easy.
No.
And just by saying, well, if people stop lying and people stop manipulating, but it's not going to happen. You got to learn how to see past the manipulation.
Yes.
And I will go so far to say is I can't see. I'm 47 years old and I can't see past the eliminate. That's why I haven't been in a real relationship since 2008. Because I can't see past it.
You can't see past it. You ain't trying to see past it.
It's hard to trust what I see.
You stuttering.
Yeah, I'm just saying because I'm trying to be truthful.
It's hard for you to what now?
To trust what I see. Because
We're going to come back to that statement.
Okay.
Because I know you had a particular question for me. And then the question you had for me, I'm going to bring that back to that statement you just made. Just saying.
Oh, okay. Oh, the stigma.
The question you had for me.
Okay.
But but yeah, so do I think, to finish that question, do I think women cheat as much as men? My direct answer is no. I don't. And that's just real. Because I see so many women, I know so many women that want a good man, and I see it now.
I know a lot of men who want
Now,
good women.
where the hell they at? It ain't that many. It ain't that many. Let's be honest now, Tyson.
A lot of them struggle the same way I do.
Where they at? Point me in
Okay.
their direction. Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Name
Keep going.
5. But
We can't tell the good women from the bad women.
yes, you
though.
can.
No, it's hard.
No, it's not.
hard. It's hard.
No, it's not. If you see
Okay.
past that surface, see past that fat ass that some of y'all like to sit up there and look at twerking all day and your heart in they shit. And yeah,
But-
I was
but that-
throwing a jab just then. But anyways,
Yeah, but that's-
just saying, you have to see past that. If you don't see past that surface level stuff, it is a lot of good women. We walking around here damn near with a scarlet letter on our chest.
The fat ass.
Like, hey.
The fat asses that we look at and we heart. We
What?
ain't trying to marry that.
Oh my God, here we go.
Okay.
I got to scoot over.
Okay.
I got
okay.
to, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
I'm going to ask the director
Ooh.
in a minute. I'll ask the director in a minute.
I'm so sick. I'm allergic to that. I'm
Go ahead.
allergic
Respond to that.
to that statement.
Respond to that.
Let me say something to this. We not gonna marry them. Let me tell you what you do though. Let me tell you what y'all do. You don't marry them, right?
Right.
You marry the other woman. You marry the other woman. You don't marry this one that's shaking her ass or whatever. You marry this woman, and you know what you do? You cheat on that woman with the woman shaking her ass. You give her the world. That woman that's shaking her ass know all about the woman at home that you married. That woman that's shaking her ass, you tell her everything. That woman that's shaking her ass, you pillow talk with. That woman that's shaking her ass, you take her on dates. That woman that's shaking her ass feel like she's superior to your wife. Your wife sitting at home, miserable, burying your kids, can't go nowhere, cleaning the house, washing your dirty damn drawers. Oh, well, so who's winning here? Who is winning here? So though you may not marry her, because the wedding ring a lot of times is a ball and chain. Is a ball and chain. It means nothing. It means just that you married and you just signed this contract. Because anybody with common sense knows that a marriage is a contract. It is a contract. Try to get out of it. You can't get out of it as easy as you sign it. It's like when you sign anything, you can't get out of it. Most of the time, the married women at home miserable, because I'm the wife, I got the ring, but they're miserable. While I see side bitches get trips, hair done, nails done, side bitches get in the car from the man and every damn thing else. So tell me, what does that mean? But we're not going to marry them. What pleasures of being married if you're not treated like a wife? But she's getting treated more like the wife because she's shaking her ass and whatever else. Please help me understand that. That means nothing. And plenty of the wives watching this right now know it. Know it. And you can sit up there and pretend and act like you the housewives of Atlanta and whatever else. Guess what? We the people still hear about your husband. We the people still know about your husband cheating with so-and-so. We the people still know about your husband's outside babies. We the people know about your husband messing around with people on his job. We still hear it. And you sitting there like, yep, we doing good. Yep, my husband did this. The Smiths. Y'all see the Smiths? All that bullshit people want to put on social media. We still hear it. We still know you're miserable. You know how some of y'all lives at home? Like Janet Jackson was, or Why Did I Get Married Too? And they're busting up shit in the house while she pretended to the world in them whole relationship. If anybody know the movie, Janet lost her shit. But in the first movie, everybody thought Janet and her husband had it together on Why Did I Get Married Too? If you ain't never seen it, go watch it. It was a perfect example of what I'm talking about. Where people putting on these facades, acting like everything all great because you married. So that saying he just said, but we never gonna marry him though. What does that mean if you're never treated like a wife besides going up there and signing your name on a damn dotted line? It means nothing. Nothing. You at home miserable by side bitch and everything about you, and you don't know shit about side bitch. And all she gotta do is shake her ass. Okay. I say what I have to say about that.
Wow, that's a lot to unpack.
Wasn't a lot for me.
So all I said was we don't marry him.
What does that mean? What does marriage mean if you're never treated like a wife?
That just means you married the wrong one.
So now it's the woman's fault?
I never said it was the woman's fault.
What are you saying?
Okay. Listen. Okay. It's not the woman's fault, but there is accountability in it also.
And the person that's doing it wrong, or the person that is the
Okay.
victim?
Hold on. I'm trying to go back to
Okay.
the original topic.
Go ahead.
Okay, of men showing attention to women, hearting that, and we are not trying to marry that. Yes, we are hearty, we'll show attention to it, but okay, men's attention, we got two kinds of attention. You know what I'm saying? What we'll stick and what we're trying to stick with. You know what I'm saying? Just like with women, y'all got what y'all got friend zones. You know what I'm saying?
We got friend zones?
Yeah, y'all got friend zones. Y'all meet these dudes, but y'all put them in friend zones. Men, we got the same thing. We meet women and put them in sex zones. Okay, now we can meet two women. This one is a sex zone. This one could be white. But
What that mean by her being a wife?
I mean,
What-
I'm going to show her.
What privilege does she get? You know how, like, if you win something, like a new car, you the wife, what is it that she's getting? What's the benefit? What's the up on the woman over here that you don't marry?
Okay, I'm just saying. Golly. What's the difference in how you treat the
She getting the
The
ring,
what?
so she supposed to be winning, right?
right? I mean, listen.
It's supposed to be better, right?
Okay, it's so much that can go into this.
Elaborate.
You know what I'm saying? Okay,
We here to talk about it.
all right. Once you get married,
Uh-huh.
if the other person isn't holding up their end, men or women,
Right.
then the other person is gonna feel neglected,
Right.
and their attention goes elsewhere. Women do it too,
A conversation should be
But-
had, right?
but that's
Conversation should be had.
right. But that's two people who either A, shouldn't be together, or B, should get some counseling. If both parties feel like they want to make it work, they should get counseling, get help, and work through the problems.
Work through the problem. I agree.
Right. But a lot of times, as black people, we don't go get that help.
Nope.
We ain't about to go pay somebody to tell us what to do. We don't even let the husband or the wife tell us what to do.
That's
So
the
how we gonna let
problem.
a stranger tell us what to do?
That is the problem.
What's that? What's the problem?
We feel like we don't want to hear nothing nobody has to say to us.
Right.
So that's the accountability factor right there.
Right.
Nobody wants to take accountability. You know you're wrong.
Right.
You know you're married.
Right.
Man or woman.
Right.
You know. So you can't say, well, I'm not getting it. So this why. Have you told that person? Have you talked to them? Have you tried all the steps?
Let me also ask this. I'm gonna take it one step deeper. Can you talk to that person?
If you can't talk to that person, then yes, that's a problem.
Yeah, a lot of times we can't talk
If
to that
I-
person.
In a situation, if I done tried to talk to you, I done came to you and I done tried to tell you, I don't like this. I don't like how you treat me. You doing this, you doing that. It's either or yeah, you might get the people that step out at that point then.
Right.
But before you marry these people, if this person is that damn difficult, you can't talk to them. They won't listen. They this and that. You should have never married them to begin with.
A lot of times they will listen during those stages, and then once she locks them down, then okay, now I can take my hair down. I can be myself. Now I ain't listening to shit.
All the way to marriage, they start doing that.
Yes, because once you lock it in and sign your name on them papers, hey, now it's a penalty for you to leave me now.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
she gets the benefit, he gets the penalty. So of course he gonna have
Why
to fall
you
in
say
line.
she get the benefit and he get the penalty?
Because
That's his view right now.
Huh?
I said he's the man. He's talking about his view right
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You talking from a man's perspective? Okay.
And also, usually when the divorce happens, the man got to pay the alimony, and or the woman gets the children. So he loses his family, he loses his house, he loses the cars, and he has to pay for her as she goes and takes the kids.
I'm gonna school you a little bit on this right here. My opinion of the schooling.
Do you agree with anything I just said? Yeah, I mean that's
I agree that we tend to get more, and I'm gonna tell you why. It isn't
Okay.
because you guys can't. And I hate to put down my men. A lot of times we're smarter. A lot of times men have the same rights that we do, but a lot of times, like I had somebody tell me, a friend of mine. I'm not gonna even call him much of a friend anymore. Used to be a really close friend of mine. Who said, like, statistically, it's more women getting divorced. Statistically, from what I've seen and from my own personal experience, you could tell a man all day to go file a divorce paper. A lot of times they're not. A lot of times you don't see a lot of men who handle certain type of bills, paperwork, or whatever else. They don't want to. They want nothing to do with it, especially when it comes to the court of law, especially
said-
when
I'm questioning.
Go ahead.
You say a lot of men don't do what? Don't divorce?
don't go and want to take those steps to filing these papers and reading over all this stuff and knowing this.
Maybe
You don't.
because he
Why?
don't want to get the divorce.
Is it that he don't want to get the divorce, or is it just he just don't feel like dealing with all that? And he know, if I'm gonna keep doing what I want to do, and eventually she's gonna get tired and she's gonna do it. No, that is
Listen.
true. That is
Okay.
true on so many
All
things. The only time
It
where
might
I've
happen
seen
sometimes.
they don't want to get the divorce because, to me, I feel like they feel like it's a hassle. It's just like the song says, it's cheaper to keep her. A lot of
exactly.
times, they don't care either way,
But you know what?
whether they're divorced
It's
or not.
You know what that means? It's cheaper to keep her, right?
Yeah.
She gets the benefit, he pays the penalty. That's why.
Because you know why? I'm gonna go file this divorce. He don't want to divorce me. He want to keep sitting out here fucking around with these bitches. I'm not gonna stay married to him. I'm gonna go file these divorce papers. And you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna write it up like this. That is how women tend to get more. If men were smart and men did more reading about this situation, they would know. I'm gonna put some of y'all men up on game right now. Listen.
No, wait,
I'm
wait,
sorry,
wait.
ladies.
We
Hold
don't,
on.
We don't want to educate on how to divorce
No,
and break up.
I don't
That's
want
not
you
what we're
to
trying
out to
do.
divorce and break up. Yes, I want to fix it. Yes, I want black love
Yeah,
and
so-
unity.
so what we doing?
But what I'm trying to tell y'all, if you're in a situation where it's not good, where you know it's over, and you don't want to be screwed, what they do in the court system a lot of times is they go by the income. So sadly, because I've seen this, I've heard this, I've seen people who've gone through certain experiences. If I'm the woman who make way more money than you, even if you cheated on me, and we filed that divorce, and he say, okay, well, I'm only making this and she's only making that, he can get child support, he can get alimony, even though he's the one that has done wrong. But see, a lot of times men don't know this. We reading up on this. We talking to attorneys and stuff. So a lot of times we know this. So we'll finesse that thing to where we'll win in the end and get more of the benefits. I don't want nobody, listen to me. Let me get the camera here. I don't want to cause no friction in black relationships. We are here tonight because we trying to bring understanding. We want more positive black relationships because I'm personally, I can only speak for myself, I'm tired of always seeing like men degrading women. Women out here saying, oh, F these niggas this and this and that. We want it to be more unity. We want it to be more understanding. So I want to get the man's perspective, just like I want the men to get the woman's perspective. And how can we come together and fix this? Yes, I agree. It needs to be more counseling. We need to get counseling and fix it if it's a lack of communication or somebody's not holding up their part in a relationship. We do need to get the counseling. But a lot of times people don't agree to the counseling.
Also need to get premarital counseling.
Amen.
You know what I'm saying? Because we don't.
Other than just a
lot of
pastor
times-
too, because these
lot of
pastors
time-
are not qualified.
Yeah, a lot of times we don't even know how to ask the right questions to see if the person is qualified to be our significant other.
Agree. I agree with that.
And a lot of times, sex happens too fast and children are created, and that's almost like an obligation to get married.
And remember too, I remember a time too when we probably was younger where these pastors wouldn't even marry you if they counseled you and it didn't seem right or it was some issues until y'all worked on those issues. I remember a time like that. Now it don't even matter. Anybody can marry you and everything for sure now. Who can have the biggest, fanciest wedding?
Right.
So I remember those times, but it ain't
Right.
like that no more. You can just go to the courthouse, get married in the living room, whatever. And now people just go to sleep, wake up married.
Yeah.
And then boom, here we are.
All right. So
So
basically, if you want to take your marriage seriously,
right.
get all the tools you need. Pre-marriage counseling.
Amen.
Maybe not just from one. Go to two, go to three.
Several.
Cross-reference.
Several.
You know, and you know,
And this is another, my opinion, do not go to a pastor. A lot of these pastors are not qualified. A lot of y'all are Google pastors. You just Google a receipt, a certificate, and all of a sudden you're pastors. You're not qualified. Get somebody who is educated and have the educational backing to give you the tools and be able to be a professional marriage counselor. That is my opinion from somebody who works in the mental health background and who does counseling and all of that.
you don't feel
These
like
pastors are not qualified. Most of them aren't. Most of them are not qualified. They can give you a scripture. They might know the Bible. They can read it, know it from front to back. But when it comes to certain things and knowing how to give people the tools that they need to be able to utilize in that relationship, a lot of times they don't give it to you. They say,
more than one counselor.
I don't deem them being fit to give marriage counseling advice.
I might want to ask the director, hey, is that like a new thing where men, I mean, like, as a almost overall, are asking women to take them on dates and asking women to marry them? I mean, is that like the new thing now? I ain't think so. Like, I mean, you might find a couple that's deranged like that, but